the price of this lens versus the image quality it produces doesn't make any sense at all. Welcome photographers, filmmakers and fellow content creators. Yes, that's right, we're going to be reviewing the brand new VILTROX APS-C 56mm F1.7 E-mount prime lens. Now, I'm not going to tell you the price of this lens until the end of the video, so make sure you stay around to the end because it might just blow your mind. Now, in the box we get the lens, a small pouch for storing the lens in, and a quick start guide. Now, the lens is mainly made from a plastic construction, and because of this it only comes in at 171 grams. My first impressions are it's nice and compact and extremely lightweight. Removing the bottom cap, we can see that it comes with a USB-C port for firmware updates, but it is missing any kind of weather sealing, so bear that in mind. Now, this is an autofocus prime lens, so we'll be testing this out later in the video. It comes supplied with a small sun hood and a 52mm filter thread. Now, the focus ring isn't the smoothest I've ever felt. It's not bad or anything, but when you're rotating it you can feel it slightly rubbing in certain positions. Mounting the VILTROX lens onto the front of a Sony a6700 feels really nice. The small compact size of the 56mm lens really complements the body of the 6700, and I'm sure this would be the same for any of the Sony APS-C cameras. Now, everything so far with this lens seems good, but ultimately it comes down to how well it performs and the image quality that it produces. So let's run a quick test of the image quality of this lens to see how well it performs. So starting at f1.7, center sharpness is good, but right in the far corners at f1.7, the image is noticeably softer. Stopping down to f2, and it's pretty much the same story. Center sharpness is good, but with soft corners. Stepping down to f2.8 and the centre of our image becomes extremely sharp, and we also get a nice little bump up in quality in them far corners. Stepping down to f4 and the centre remains incredibly sharp, and again the far corners get an increase in quality. Moving on to f5.6 and centre sharpness remains incredible, and our corner sharpness is now at a good level. Stepping down to f8 and our centre sharpness is fantastic, and our far corners are almost equally as sharp. At f11 our centre still remains extremely sharp, and at f11 now our corner sharpness matches the centre. At f16 we see a little drop in sharpness in the centre, and an ever so slight drop in corner sharpness also. So image quality from this lens looks fantastic. Now, if you've been a subscriber to this channel for any amount of time, you know that I like to take my lenses out for a real well testing to see how well they perform, and that's exactly what we're going to do here with this VILTROX lens. So let's head to London and put it through its paces. So we've made it to London with the camera and lens, and what we're going to do is strap the action camera to my chest, and we're going to go round, do some street photography with this setup, see whether this lens is worth you considering. So yeah, let's head off out and see what we can capture. Now, all camera settings will be displayed on the screen, and it's worth noting that we also had the colour set to auto white balance. Now, going to London for the day is great for street photography because you're bound to bump into a protester or two and some eccentric characters. Now, I should have mentioned that all images are JPEG straight out the camera, and as always let me know what you think to them in the comment section below. Now, with its focal length of 56mm, which equates to 85mm on a full frame camera, this lens is perfect for portrait photography because you get that really nice separation from the background. And the great thing about a 56mm lens on an APS-C camera body is you don't need to stand too close to your subject and make them feel uncomfortable. As I say, it's a perfect focal length for portrait photography. Now the colour reproduction from the lens comes in at the slightly cooler side, I would say, but only very slightly. Now minimum focus distance is 55cm, which isn't going to be great for macro photography, but with its focal reach of 56mm, you can still get fairly close to your subject. Oh, and did I tell you the 56mm is one of my favourite focal lengths? Because look at the compression. It's absolutely fantastic. And with the aperture of f1.7 on this lens, you're going to have no problem in then low light situations. The autofocus in from this lens is nice and snappy, and it worked perfectly fine throughout the day. Now there was a very slight motor noise from the focus motors, but barely audible. The bokeh from the lens is maybe a little bit busy, but still pleasant to the eye. Let's now take a look at the video quality from the lens. And again, this is taken straight from the Sony a6700 with VILTROX 56mm lens, without any editing or any filters attached to the lens. Now focus breathing from this lens is excellent and barely noticeable. Now video focus with Sony's eye auto detect and face detection system set to on is fast and snappy. And again, I've had no problems with it focusing on subjects or missing focus. And as the 56mm is a fantastic portrait lens with its compression, it can be used very creatively for your videos also. So I think we've shown you enough specs of the lens. What's my final conclusion to it? Well, the build quality is good, image quality is simply excellent, autofocus is fantastic, focus breathing is on another level, and the bokeh again is fantastic. So what is the price of this lens? Well, at the beginning of the video I did say there's a discrepancy between the price and quality of this lens, and that is because it comes in at an amazingly cheap price of only $180, which is approximately 160 UK pounds, which is just bonkers for the quality of image it produces. I would say that this is probably the best budget lens on the market right now for your Sony APS-C camera. If you have an alternative, please let us know in the comment section down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Oh, and before you leave, if you'd like to take photos like this, then click on this video right here. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see further content from myself, consider hitting that subscribe button. But for now, that's it. We'll catch up in that next video. See you soon, everyone.